Bonjour tout le monde and welcome back to my channel. I decided to do a new video that I've been meaning to do for like the longest time, but I never really got around to it. And that's looking through my old art. You know, I'm an artist, as you probably know if you follow my channel or know me at all. As we have new art that we show to everyone and we're very proud of. And we have old art that we don't show to anyone because we're not very proud of it. But today I'm gonna show you guys some old art of mine. I think it's more difficult to film like a sketchbook tour than to film some like shit that you have on your computer, so I just, you know, here I can just record with OBS and have it be done with it. So I thought I was gonna do that. So like, just to clarify, I really don't consider myself a digital artist, even though I end up doing a lot of digital work these days. So yeah, now I have like a fun way to do it and it's a lot more nice that way, but still, like I wanted to say, I don't consider myself a digital artist at all. I think I'm more so a traditional artist. I like to work with acrylics, I like to work with watercolor, but I have a lot of digital art. Not as much as I could have because like a long time ago, my old computer crashed and burned, so I don't have as much of my old art as I would like to. But luckily we have the internet where I used to post my old art, so I could like get some from there. And today we're gonna look at some. Okay, so I picked out a folder here, picked out 15 artworks so that it's not going to be too long of a video. If I feel like it, maybe I'm going to make a part 2 or a part 3 or whatever, because I have a lot of art, you know. On my computer I also have a lot of my physical art. I could go through some of my folders just blindly. I think that's more fun because sometimes I do that and I'm like, oh, I remember drawing this. So maybe I'll make a second video where I just go through my computer blindly and look at my art. I'm gonna start from oldest to newest. I'm not 100% sure of the timeline because fuck do I know when I painted what or when I drew what. I'm probably gonna have more stuff to say about the old artworks than the new ones, so let's get right into it. Oh, Jesus Christ. I mean, look at this, okay. First of all, we can see that there's a date on this one when I used to sign my shit. So I don't do this anymore. I don't really... wait, I have a mouse. I don't really sign my stuff anymore, and I don't put like the date on it, but in retrospect, maybe I should, because it's really helpful. I wouldn't have known how old I was when I drew this. I mean, I know that I was young. This was when I just got my first tablet, my first and only tablet, a Wacom bamboo something, you know, the usual stuff that you had. I made 2 characters out of my rabbits that I had at the time. So these are my first characters that I ever created, I guess. Her name here in, like with the black hair and stuff, was Chiaki. You can see it's anime style. I don't draw anime style primarily anymore. Barely ever, even though I'm kind of dabbling into it again, but you know, as a lot of people, I drew anime at some point. I didn't start with drawing anime because I drew like forever. I drew stick figures as a child, and you know, when I started watching anime, I started drawing anime. So here we have like an early drawing. That's anime, woo! Yeah, and they had Japanese names because I was a weeb. Are you surprised? Are you really surprised? No, you're not. If you look back on my channel, you can see art that looks similar to. So this is Chiaki and this is me, because it was a he rabbit and his name was Creamy, but Creamy is not a person name, so I named her me, just M-I. I'm so creative. Bow down to my creativity. So yeah, this is Chiaki and me, and it looks terrifying. Frankly, I mean, I don't like being mean about my old art, because, you know, that's not productive, and some people are at that level and they don't want to, you know, you don't want to be mean to random kids on the internet. But from my more advanced point of view, I can look at this and be like, it's a bit creepy. You know, they're supposed to be playing and having fun, but it looks a little bit terrifying, I'm not gonna lie. You know, like the teeth are weird, the mouths are weird, the shading is very everywhere. There's this line work is not the absolute worst, but the shading, on the other hand, is the absolute worst. You can see like it's blending together. These frills are not there at all, like shading wise. The outfits are strange a little bit, but I mean, are we gonna critique the fucking outfits? I don't think so. The hands, I don't want to start with the hands. At least they have all the right fingers, but they don't have joints in their fingers. So that's interesting. The shine, I always used to do the shine because anime, you know, interesting. The hair, shine, interesting. If I would have to sum this piece up, I would say it's very interesting. So yeah, as you can see, 2012, so I was probably 12 when I drew this. So I'm not gonna be too harsh on myself. For 12, this is fine. Now I would be like, my dude, not so good. But you know, they had different ears. I dropped the ears very soon. You can probably see the first few artworks are probably gonna be done. So you can also see like character development. Character design development or whatever. So yeah, creepy, but alright. Oh yeah, look, Jesus fucking Christ, this is also 2012. And can we just like peek the difference for a second? I mean, yes, it's still not the best. Also very apt, you know, winter is coming. We are in November right now. Soon it's gonna be December. Winter is one of my favorite seasons. I say that all of the seasons are my favorites now that I'm adult. But look at the difference. This was 2012 and this was also 2012. Like, not even a year has passed. I think it's quite the difference. You know, her design here changed completely. She has different hair completely. I say that as though she grew a fifth arm or something. This hand is not terrible. I mean, the fingers still don't have joints. Not particularly anyway, but I mean, it's anime, so it's gonna be a bit simplified. Yeah, the shading is better. I wouldn't say it's good, but it's better. I mean, you know, it's improvement. It's kind of cute. They have the same hat. It's cute. I think it's kind of cute. By the way, the story behind this painting, is that Mitang wants to go sledding, and Chiaki does not want to go sledding. That's their characters, by the way. Very good sum up of their characters. Yeah, what I have to say, of course, the style. I can comment on the style, because style is not an excuse for how your drawing looks. And this style is something. I used to draw, like, look at them. They had no faces, they had just eye. Their face was eye. And I mean, anime has big eyes. Some anime styles, most, I would say, anime styles have big eyes. But not like that. I don't think any anime style looks like this. Also, the shape of their heads is very interesting, which, I mean, is obviously caused by their giant fucking eyes. The noses and the mouth, very tiny, very thick lines I used. I would not use thick lines like that anymore when I draw anime style, which we'll get to at the end. So yeah, let's look at the next one. Yeah, I think this one should have actually been before the one before that, just looking at the style. I remember it's also in 2012, so I mean, it's still okay. There's a full body shot, witch Halloween style. Woo! Very topical at the time. I'm sure I drew this around Halloween. It's kind of a cute idea, I think. Even the moon is a little shaded, which is great, you know, because the moon is a three-dimensional object. Fantastic, super. The shading is still wishy-washy and all over the place. The hair physics with this thing is very anime, but also very much bad anime art style. Here the eyes are actually a bit better than the other one, because she's like an adult probably, and me and Chiaki are children. Position of the legs is improbable, especially from like the angle where she's coming at. I remember posting this on Facebook or something like that, maybe DeviantArt. I don't know if I did DeviantArt back then. And getting criticism about the legs, and I was like, dude, you can put your legs like that. And yes, you can, but also, would you though? Would you though? No, you would not. I did this thing that's very anime with the mouth, with the little snaggletooth thing. Some animes do that, and I was like, I want to do that, so I did that. Also, everything shined. The knees shine, the shoulders shine. I mean, don't you know your good old shoulder shine? Yeah, I think that's all I have to say about this one. Look at that. Progress has been made, I would say. This is a very low quality save of this image because, like I said, I got these from the internet. I remember this being a very big image. I edited a lot with it, you know. The lines are very thin, and not only that, they're colored lines, you know, like the skin color is just a bit darker. There are lines, I swear to God. It doesn't really look like it everywhere. You know, like here the dress, you can see it on the dress pretty well. The dress line art is just a bit done in a darker color than the dress, which is nice. You can do that. You don't have to do that when you draw anime, but I think it usually adds a pretty nice touch. Though I guess it doesn't really matter when we're talking about this level of artwork. I don't know, I don't see a date here, but I would assume it's probably 2013 or 14 or whatever. Not sure though, don't really care either. I was young, I drew anime. I drew Chieki and me. Yeah, and they're very tomboy and girl, and they're sisters. I think this was for a YouTube channel banner or something, because, you know, gotta be present on social media, on the grind, 24 hours, get that bread. I added this effect. I added this glow around them. It looks like they've been deceased for 20 years and are coming to haunt you in your dreams because you accidentally killed them when you were drunk driving. Something like that. Of course, this wasn't the story, but, you know, with this fucking glow, it looks like they come straight to you from the afterlife, from Nirvana. Also, Chieki has this very typical anime design where it's like, I'm surprised that I didn't name her Kuro-chan or something like that, because, you know, long black hair. Black hair? Kuro means black? I gotta name her Kuro-chan. But I didn't. So I'm very proud of me for that. We did good. We did not name her Kuro-chan. But she has this very typical, super typical Japanese anime. This girl is in every, like, third slice of life anime or other anime, you know? Especially with the red eyes and everything. Very original. Meat was very much more original because she was very European-esque. Let's get that bread, gamers. I think we're leaving Anime Town on the next picture, so thumbs up for that. Jesus Christ, let's go back to Anime Town. Can we zoom out of this one a little bit? Oh my god. From further away, I looked at these from further away, right? Of course, to sort them into the folder, and I was like, oh yeah, I know why I want to put this one in here. But when it's zoomed in like this on my laptop screen, I am terrified of this. Which is kind of the point of it, you know, let me tell you. Do you guys remember Saxtree? I honestly have no idea how to pronounce her name, let alone how to spell it, but I'm gonna put it in the video, of course, to give credit where credit is due, because this bitch came through and rescued me from my anime phase. Thank you. I saw her art. I might put up a picture of which one specifically, if I remember, because I do think I might remember. And I saw her art and I was like, dude, this shit looks good. I want my shit to look like this shit. And then I did this, which is the logical conclusion of this thought. So let's look at this. It's an attempt, and it's supposed to be creepy cute, you know, like the creepy cute aesthetic that we all love and adore. So it's very sketchy. Obviously, the hair, I mean, like, is this, I wonder if I thought of this as like a finished painting, because that would be concerning. I'm sure I would not be surprised if I used this picture as my avatar. I had blonde hair and this kind of hairstyle for the longest amount of time, so it was probably a profile picture at some point because it's like square like that. So I'm thinking it might have been a profile picture. Blue eyes, very dark black, see, something like that. Now maybe I had a time where I wouldn't use black anymore in my digital artworks because, you know, as you can see in this one, it's a good example actually, it just doesn't look very good because everything's so pastel-y and shit like that, and then there's this fucking like zero light black in the middle. In nature, when you look around you and you know, like my hair, for example, I dyed my hair black recently, but it's not like that black. You can make it look that black on a computer screen, but in real life it's not gonna look that black because that would look unnatural. So you probably shouldn't use 100% black for your drawings if you want them to look realistic. If you want them to look cartoony, I mean, go ahead. Of course, use 100% black, whatever. But yeah, This one looks scary, but I mean, like I said, it was the point, kind of the shading, you know, you try to do some realistic shit, and I really like this point, not this drawing in particular, but I really like this part of my art where I kind of began to separate myself from anime, because honestly, anime is nice and stuff, but if you only, like, exclusively draw anime, I don't know, I feel like you're not exploring the full spectrum of what being an artist can offer you, personally. But I mean, do what you want, draw what you want, it's whatever. It's just my feeling on it. I'm glad that I stopped drawing just anime and began drawing this. I remember some good artworks that came out of that time. But let's move on. Right, this is quite the jump. As you might be able to tell, I know exactly when this was drawn, but I'm really bad with like numbers and years and dates and shit, so also not. I know at which point in my life I drew this. In summer when I changed schools, so I was definitely probably 17 when I drew this. Definitely probably 17. I hadn't drawn digitally for a while, I think, when I drew this. There's good things about this here, and there's bad things about this. Well, she's naked, but she doesn't have any nipples. That's something that comes to mind. I used to do that that's still anime influence, isn't it? Probably, right? She's naked. Look, this is a high quality image, you can zoom very far in. But there aren't any nipples on her, which I probably did in order to make it more PG, less sexual or whatever, which does not make any sense to me. Like, I like to draw a good nipple now and again, you know, in the most non-sexual way possible, because, you know, art is only sexual if you make it as such, you know. I'm a big Egon Schiele fan, you should probably know what my opinion is on that. So, this artwork, we have green hair, that's extremely straight, interesting design choice, but it's fine. Also, actually, let's look at this for a second. What is happening with the colors in her eyelashes here? I'm not 100% sure, but she has this paint expression because this one was titled something very artsy, like flora is taking over or something. So these plants are growing on her, and she's not a fan. Something I would like to point out is this hand. I will leave you with that. No, but it's not good. I don't like it. This hand is better, but also not good. You can see I know how many joints are in a finger now, but I also don't really know how to do this. We also have messy line work, which is the only line work for me. In my heart, I enjoy messy line work if there is to be any. It should be messy, because fuck clean line work. I'm joking, of course, if you want to do clean line work. I do clean line work sometimes, but usually I just don't do line work anymore, so no issue with that. The grass was a decision. And by decision, I mean compromise. Because, as you might be able to tell, I got lazy when it came to the background. I mean, it is a background, and it has a nice, you know, it fades relatively nicely into the darkness, actually. As you can tell, I used some texture brush here, actually, when I zoom in, but it doesn't make any sense at all, so I probably shouldn't zoom into that too much. So yeah, I could have made a very smooth transition. Also, she's not casting a shadow. Maybe she's an ethereal being. Nah, just kidding. I totally forgot the shadow. Oh yeah, to get to the shading, there's not much of it. There's just not much of it there. You know, I was like, oh, I probably improved in shading. I should talk about that. I mean, obviously, yeah, I've improved. I'm not like I'm 12 anymore. There's some nice highlights. I really like this highlight here on the thigh of her. That's a nice highlight, and on her extremely exaggerated shape here. I mean, exaggerated shapes are fun. I'm not gonna knock it. Also, if I look here right now, it's very simple. There's not much going on, but I like this little, you know, like foot in the shadow, of course, as it should be. That's nice. But in general, there's just not much shadow going on. We don't go very deep into like the low values. We're just in this value, you know, if this is the spectrum of values that I could have used, this is the spectrum of values that I did use, which for her shading, I mean, in the background there's just like black, which means I should have used extra dark shading. Oh no. So we're gonna go on to the next one, which is this one. And why did I sort them like this? I'm very certain that this was before I drew this one. Whatever. This is Hamilton. In case you don't recognize it as such, makes sense. It doesn't look very much like Hamilton because this is supposed to be Aaron Burr and this is supposed to be Alexander Hamilton because I'm a musical theater kid. I've become a musical theater kid through Hamilton, actually. Am I really one then? Is that like something that people in the musical theater kid fandom say, oh, you started by watching Hamilton? Big L. Maybe. I really don't know. But the first musical I really enjoyed was Hamilton, and I really got into it, and I was into it for like a very long time. So this was probably around 2016-ish. And I played a lot with textures here. I had this one, you can see on his cheeks. I had this one texture pen that I used for everything, and it worked really well, in my opinion. It gave everything a nice look. But as you can also tell, I was trying out a different style here. I was trying to do like a cartoony, cutesy thing. Here in this picture, Hamilton and Aaron Burr are like in our time, and they're getting coffee in red cups from Starbucks, probably. Was that year where they did the red cup thing and somehow that was shit, but I don't remember why it was shit. Yeah, possibly. So they are getting coffee together. What I actually really like about this one, I mean, I don't like it as a whole that much anymore, but I really like the little smoke coming from the coffee cups, because it's hot coffee and they're drinking, or hot chocolate maybe, I don't know, and they're drinking it in wintertime, and I think that's actually really cute. What I like about this style is not much. Now that I think about it, I wanted to tell you what I like about this style, but I actually don't like anything about this style anymore. No, it was fine at the time. Also very sketchy line work. It's fine for this. I would have done thicker and cleaner lines if I was to do this style again now, but I mean, it's fine. He's wearing his colors and he's wearing those colors. I'm not sure, green is kind of like very Hamilton color, but is purple a Burr color? No, you know what I probably did? Actually, big brain. That's extremely big brain. Dude, I'm so fucking big brain. I probably chose that because they're like, on the color wheel, they're like kind of... I'll put in a graphic and my stupid fucking rambling makes sense. First, I call myself big brain and then I explain it by like that. Okay, yeah. Let's go to the next one. Oh, wow. We've made progress. This was for school. I did this for school. We didn't have art much at school. This was a project where we did Eurythmy, a performance. And this was the thing that we performed. It was kind of like... it was a children's story, and it was called Die Schmusekönigin, which is German for the Cuddle Queen. Cuddle Queen sounds extremely cute. Whatever, so I did this. I think this was the finished poster, just that... Wait, I can't point. It doesn't do anything. Just that here and here were dates and times and shit, so, it looks a bit empty because there was text there in the finished version, which I didn't do. Somebody else did the text. And yeah, I really like this one, actually. It's old, obviously, like I was probably 18 or still 17 or 18 when I made this, but I really like it. I'm actually really proud of it. So it also took a long time. I remember distinctly I was eating Milka chocolate, like the big bars, when I was drawing this, and nougat flavor. I was listening to a really, really bad audiobook of Dorian Gray by Oscar Wilde, where Dorian Gray sounded like the most decrepit old man. It's free and on YouTube, that's why I listened to that version. And I listened to the whole thing, all 10 hours of it, or whatever length it was. I mean, it was bad, but I still remember the story, I was just drawing and I needed something to listen to. So I remember that very distinctly. So here, the story doesn't really... I'm not going to tell you the whole story, but this is a little princess. She's dressed in like a typical Year of Me outfit, and she's kind of holding her hands in a typical Year of Me way. I really like the lighting that I did on this. Here also the shading is not very prominent, not like that harsh, but it makes sense because it's like a children's book, a cutesy aesthetic like that. Even still, it's kind of realistic, but also, more realistic than the one that I showed you before, but it still has those cartoony elements. I really like it. It's very expressive in that sense. She's going, those are Eurythmia shoes and everything, you know, and she's stepping into this pool of water here in the middle of the castle. You can see this, the background is interior of the castle. And down here she's in a little princess dress, and the perspective. Can we just take a fucking second to look at this perspective and like give 17, 16, 18-year-old me a round of applause for this? Because, dude, her little legs are going up into her skirt, which is just woo woo woo. If I had to describe it like a scholar, I would say fula fula scato. You know, I did that. She has little sleeves, and here outside in the world, she's leaving her castle to go out into the world, and she meets these queens. I think there was more. I don't remember the whole story actually, but she meets the flower queen or garden queen, and I'm still pointing at, I'm such a boomer. She meets the garden queen, she meets the cupcake queen, I think. She meets the night queen over here. Not the Queen of the Night from Mozart's opera, very different, please make the distinction. And she meets the toy queen. Even though I think we scrapped the toy queen from the actual play at the end, but I made the poster before we did the fucking play, obviously. So she's still here. The queens were easier to do with the perspective, and they're also not 100% perspectively. Big brain, my dude. They're obviously not 100% accurate, because who cares? But they have these dresses which made it easier, especially the Night Queen. You can see her just kind of go off into clouds. Honestly, I like this. You can see they're different themes and they're all holding hands. It's very child friendly, it's cute. And yeah, thumbs up for me. I did it good. Next one. Also a poster for that same show. We had two parts. We had a story part and a performance part that was obviously, you can see, the Four Seasons themed, obviously I say, because my art is so impeccable. You can obviously see what I was trying to communicate, but I hope you can. There's just, you know, I was trying to capture the motion and the emotion. The motion and the emotion. Like e-girl and e-boy of Eurythmy, basically. No, it was not Four Seasons by Vivaldi, even though that would have been pretty dope, but I mean, that would have been also a little bit boring after a while. You know, Eurythmy pieces are very short, usually, and we did a mix of different things. You know, we did like poems, and we did songs. Fucking songs, my dude. Like Tchaikovsky and Sibelius. Songs, you know? Like Ariana Grande. So yeah, let's move on to this one. It's dark. Ooh. This was when I got my new drawing apparatus, which is this laptop. This is Sweeney Todd and Joanna in a scene that never happened in the musical because the musical's cruel. It's very sketchy, it's very dark, their skin is very purple. I had this issue for a while where I was like, dude, skin isn't white, I'm not gonna draw them white. So instead I drew them purple. Logical conclusion, you know. I like, you know, like these rough lines. I got a new drawing program with this new drawing laptop, so I have a new pen. More than one actually, but I have a new pen also. Still, when did I draw this? I was probably 18 or so, I would assume. Yeah, it looks nice, kind of. You know, I have my problems with it, obviously. The shading is nice, it's very dramatic, it's very dark. I like the sleeve, I like to draw in the shadows like that, where it's just really harsh shadows, really harsh shapes and everything. I like her hair, it's a mix of these different types of lines going in there, so like for the shading. And it just looks kind of rough and dirty, and I like it like that. This one, look at what phase this was. Twitter stans are going to cancel you. I was never really one of them, but I did like BTS for a while, a lot, and that's okay. And I drew myself. Am I a fucking, you know, sometimes, I mean, I know I'm big brain at heart, but sometimes I feel like I'm actually small brain, because I drew myself Slav squatting, and I drew it, so I can draw it whatever way I want, but I still draw it the fucking American Spy way. Am I a fucking, like, I'm not a real Slav. I still have those hair accessories, and I still wear them. I don't have that hair anymore, but that's okay. People change. I like the outfit, it's cute, the shading is nice, you know, it's again this sketchy style. I don't know, for some reason I decided not to shade the lips at all, but I mean, it's a very simplified style. This was a profile picture as well, if you can't tell. I didn't know what to put for a background, so I had a couple different ones, because the background doesn't matter in this case, not in every case. And yeah, I had this jacket, I had this outfit, you know, just like I looked like that from time to time. I really like the way I drew the eyes here. I still sometimes kind of draw them like that, kind of, you know, like with the eyelashes going down and wait, I'll show it on the fucking picture, down and doing the thing, you know. This shape of eyelash is cute and I enjoy it. My nose never looked like that though, but I draw nose, well, I mean, so okay. This one is cute. I enjoy this one still. It's not high art, fine art, high art. This art has not smoked before being created, but still I enjoy it. It's very simple, like cutesy style. It has this wispy haircut. I like her haircut, I say to my fucking art, dude. I like the eyes. It's very sketchy. It's just a sketch that's colored in, you know, there's barely any shading, but there's not supposed to be. I like the style. It's cutesy, it's whatever. This is similar to how I would draw now, even though it's probably from when I was 19, which isn't that long ago. You know, it's probably a year old or so, but it's cute. Oh yeah, this is recent. Here we have some fan art for Com, who's a French singer. If you've been following my channel, you know who he is. And he posted this picture on Instagram some time ago, and I really liked it. I saw it and I was like, this looks like a picture that I would like to draw. This also looks like a picture that I would like to recreate, but I am scared, so I'm not going to do that. It's just him pretending to put a cigarette in his eye. You know, like you do. It's a normal thing to do. I really like this. I also, you know, I use the same, this is the pen that I use on this program, you know. It's obviously realistic. I just looked at the drawing and I drew it. I looked at the drawing and I drew it. Am I fucking retarded, dude? I looked at the picture and I just drew it. You know, it's realistic, but still with the sketchy style, you know. It's a realistic sketch, you might want to say. Cute little cigarette smoke. You know, it's not cute, it's like grungy and stuff. I like grungy. Grungy is a nice aesthetic. I say that. Look at me, look at me, look at me, and then hear me. I like grunge. Kurt Cobain. No, but I have different aesthetics. You know how it goes. Oh yeah, look at that. I signed this one. 2019. So it was this year. Recent shit. Yeah, let's get it. That's nice. It's a nice drawing. I like it's a good skin tone. It's not purple anymore. We've evolved, you know. It's pale. It's dark. The color combination is nice. I want to just look at this eye for a second. It looked like that in the picture. I mean, I can't really take credit for the pose or for anything. But yeah. Also, hands. I love hands. Hands are nice. I like drawing hands. There's some little highlights going on, shit like that, but not like too overt or anything. So, we're making progress. I am learning. Big brain. Okay. Whoa! What the fuck is this? I thought you said you didn't draw anime no more. Well, this is very new. I just drew this very recently. And it's anime. Aha! これは何ですか? Jesus Christ, I'm such a fucking cringe lord. I had to actually learn how to draw anime again. I might make a whole video about that. How to actually draw anime. This is very big. Big picture, big picture. I made an utauroid because I wanted to. Obviously, why else would you do something like that? I made an utauroid because I felt like it, and I had to draw her, of course, because, you know, you need artwork to put on videos and covers and shit like that. So I drew this. Important things about drawing anime. I had to... My art program that I used to draw this cannot draw this, in my opinion, because this was drawn with Paint Tool Sai, and this was drawn with sketchbook or whatever it's called. And Paint Tool Sai has this feature where you can do like a clipping mask, I think it's called, where you put a new layer on something and this new layer is only able to draw on what the previous layer is. So I can, you know, do shadows better. That's a good explanation. It's not a tutorial, get off my fucking back. I can do shadows better, I can do gradients within shadows. I don't know. I'm sure there's some way to do it in the other program, but I don't know how, so I got Sai for this. And that's very important for the anime style, because anime style is usually cell shaded. When it's supposed to look like that, this is cell shaded. There's some blend of the colors here, you know, going from the skin color kind of leaking into the sock color, which when you say it like that, it sounds fucking disgusting, but my dude, that's what they do in anime. Here with the hair as well, you know, because to kind of give the effect that it's, even though anime hair is drawn in these like chunky bits, to give kind of the illusion that it's not as chunky because it's kind of see-through. I really like these eyebrows in anime. I love those because chunky eyebrows are très bien. J'aime chunky eyebrows. Another thing that's important about drawing anime, in my opinion, you know, everybody draws it different, but something that I've noticed in anime art is that line art is difficult and important. So you can see the line art is very, very clean. I took a long time with the stupid line art because I wanted to have it be very clean, because usually anime line art is fucking clean as fuck, dude. I took my time with it, and in Sai you can do good line art. People do line art in Sai, that's, you know that, everyone knows that. It's good and clean, and it's also all the same size, which in normal cartoon art I wouldn't want to do that. I would want line difference, line weight difference. That's something that you should be doing, I think, in normal cartoon art. But for anime, it looks more anime-esque if you have the whole line art be the same. Look at these fucking shoes. I hate drawing shoes. Anyway, let's go to the last one. This one's the last one. Done. No, I'm kidding. This one's a realistic piece, if you couldn't tell, of William Rousseau and Fanny. I'm not going to try and pronounce that last name because I'm not that good at French to be able to do that yet. So I am obsessed currently with Le Rouge et Le Noir. You might know this if you watch my channel. And here I drew two people from the musical when they were on tour in China, which they came back now. And a lot of flowers. I think it turned out really nice. It's really giant. I worked on it a long time. It takes a while to load when I zoom in, because it's a very big picture. The faces are grabbed directly from internet, of course, you know, like directly from reference. The rest is not from reference. I think later when I look back on this painting in 5 years or so, it's going to be very apparent to me that the rest of this drawing is not drawn from reference and only the faces are, and it's going to look a little bit weird. But for now, I'm fine with it, so it's fine. I really like the way that I did the foliage here. They have some lines, you know, they're not extremely realistic because I actually didn't want to kill myself, so, you know, can't draw that many extremely realistic flowers, at least I can't. There's some editing that went on here, but I'm not gonna talk about that because that's cringy. Oh, dude, you posted cringe, unsubscribed. Oh, you posted cringe, you lost subscriber. Anyway, I am fucking cringe, dude. And there's a lot of little details in this and a lot of clothing folds. Fucking clothing folds, my dude. Fucking clothing folds. I fucking love painting clothing folds. That sounds like sarcasm, and it's like partially true and partially not, because clothing folds actually are extremely fun. Like, I'm not gonna lie. I enjoy them. I do. They look nice. It's not hard to draw them. I took time out of my very busy life to learn how to draw clothing folds a while ago, and it really paid off. You know, you gotta learn that shit. I say that as though I'm like a fucking master of it. You know, it's better if you have a reference. If you have a reference, you can draw anything. That's just how it is. But if you don't have a reference and you can still draw stuff, then wow, good job, incredible job. So yeah, this was without reference. Like I said, it's just, oh, how would an arm look? What's an arm? So I really like this hand. This hand is just small and precious and I love it. And there are all these little details, you know, everything's shining and everything's gold, and this arm, and look at these hands. I just really like it. Is that too much? Generally, I'm not the biggest fan of realism. A while ago I would have said, ew, what the fuck? Realism? I would never draw that. Well, would I have said it like that? Actually, probably. I'm quite the asshole, so I probably would have said it like that. But now I'm turning around on it a little bit, because, you know, realism has some things that are interesting. I mean, I like to look at a good Tissot painting, even though we have photographs now. That's an argument that I hear a lot, you know, like, why would you paint realistically if there's photographs now? There's no need for realistic paintings anymore. And I agree with that to a certain degree. I actually do, you know. In the time of modernization, the need for realistic paintings has dissipated, and that makes sense, and I agree with that. But I still think you can enjoy looking at realistic paintings and doing realistic paintings first and foremost, because that's an experience for yourself, and it's also practice for yourself. You always should do realistic paintings, but should you make them your main goal, that you should want to do them maybe exclusively in the future? Probably not. At least that's what artists would tell you that I've spoken to. You know, I don't know. I like this vase also. Regarde la vase. I don't know if vase is called that. Yeah. J'aime sa peinture. And that's it. That's all the paintings that I picked out today, and I recorded for an hour. I'm a fucking piece of shit that will have to edit this if I want to make it a video. Ooh, stinky. Ooh, Jesus Christ, why am I so annoying? So yeah, I really like the hair as well. To talk a bit more about the painting, I really like the hair, the way that I drew the hair. It's a very difficult thing to draw realistic hair. I say that as though that is like an epiphany of mine, but you know, I've never found, or in a long time I haven't found drawing hair difficult. But when you try to draw it realistically, it becomes a bit more difficult, because you have to find this balance between how many little hairs do we have, how many singular strands of hair do we draw, because they clump together and they're not that singular, but there are still like single hairs. Obviously your whole head of hair is comprised of single little hairs, but you can't, and you shouldn't, you should not draw every hair that's on a person's head, because that looks ridiculous. It doesn't look like that in real life, you know, because they clump together and shit like that. So anyway, if you guys enjoyed this video, then feel free to drop a like, hit that notification bell, subscribe, turn on notifications. I just said that. I literally just said that. If you enjoyed this video, I might make more. If you didn't enjoy this video, I might make more. I might just make more, but I might just not do that. Okie dokie, I need to edit this video, but not today. Probably not today. So yeah, that was my old art. Tell me what you think in the comments below. Tell me how much I suck in the comments below. If you want to, that's not necessary. I'm trying to be more active on my social media again, but okay, I need to stop this recording. I'm gonna go now. I had a very good time looking for this old art. It took forever, so if I'm ever gonna make a video where I look through even more of it at once, I'm gonna have to cut that shit down even more, or it's just gonna be a very, very long video which nobody will watch. Anyway, guys, bye bye, Jane, au revoir, paka.